So the easiest way to get back to your map is if you click on your character, like open up your character sheet, and then you see where the icon is.
Which one?
Like your character icon. If you click on that, there's a target button on the that will automatically reopen the last map you were on. Now, the thing is you guys are done with this current map, so there isn't any, you don't need to go back there. The other way you can get to it is if you're looking at the combat tracker and you double click on your character's portrait, it'll take you to the map you're currently on as well.
Oh.
Well, thanks for asking, because I didn't know that.
Thank you for walking us through that, because I was just sitting there going like, I've already had to scale up the interface so I could read the fonts.
Hey, asking these questions are... The problem is I can't always remember everything that I've told each individual group, so if you have a question about D&D or Fantasy Grounds, speak up.
Sometimes you don't know what questions to ask.
This is true, but if something is not working the way you would like, you can always ask me, hey, is there a way to do this? And we will...
Can you repost the map?
Yeah, and I can usually do that fairly easily as well. But yes, you can get into those ways. I have found that it's one of those things that unless you're regularly doing it, though, it's really easy to forget what you're doing. So,
my biggest issue is switching back and forth from Fantasy Grounds and Roll20. It's like,
yeah, there are different tabletops out there, and some people do have different preferences.
No, mine is just, okay, since I switched, then I try to do something. Oh, that didn't work. That must be the other game.
Yep. At one point I was running games in Fantasy Grounds and playing on Foundry, and so there was times where I'd try and do something like, wait, that doesn't. Oh, I've got to do it this way on over here. So yes, I totally get that. But you guys have arrived on the outskirts of the Raiders' camp after dealing with some stragglers and bypassing the rear guard. So, get back to scales. Okay, so I will need to rescale this potentially. Let's see how. Let's go. Alright, so you guys arrive at the camp. It is located down in a small hollow between a couple of the plateaus. And as you come up, there seems to be a good bit of activity around the area. There is a guard tower watching the entrance, so you guys may want to try and find another way to get into the area rather than just walking straight in, because the guards will probably notice you. It is...
Is it still night?
No, this was the next morning you guys set out to do this. So, it's not quite midday, but it's getting there. Gotcha. So you guys would have the option to either wait until nightfall to try and infiltrate the camp, but who knows what might happen during the day. Or you could try slipping in during the day, but having the chance that somebody's going to notice you, and you'll have to deal with the fallout of that.
True. Because last time we were thinking we might try a disguise.
Yeah, that was our thinking.
Okay.
But didn't they say they had some sort of mark on them? So we were talking about
Yeah.
dragon key, but like we don't really know.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes. They were marked with dragon pea, and
Obviously.
I can probably help.
oh yes,
Are you gonna
Is dra-
pee on all of us?
Is Dragonborn the same as dragon? Oh no, everybody got jellyfish stings.
All right, everyone lay down in a straight line.
Oh,
all
boy.
of this water.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Now, the big question is, how do you know dragon pea isn't like acidic or flammable?
That's
Ooh,
true.
these are good questions. Should we do a test patch?
Mine might be shocking.
Oh my goodness. So what part of the map are we on again? Are we on like the
So
the
you're
north
gonna,
side?
yeah, you're gonna be up. Like you're not
Got
on the map just yet. You're off that direction.
Okay.
You can see some of the tents. You can see the first guard shack.
okay.
So if you look at the inset a little bit, you guys are like more out here.
Sure.
Okay. Gotcha.
Suspicious and Nightshade, how high can you fly? Is there like a cap to that?
10,000 feet, 15,000 feet.
Okay.
Well, the air getting
Yeah,
pretty
you
thin.
you asked that, and I instantly saw Suspicious's wings, and my brain went to the old Reading Rainbow intro.
Oh, butterfly in the sky.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yes,
Butterfly flying high.
butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high.
That is classic.
Well, 'cause originally that was going to be my question. So, how far can we see to pick out details?
Well, if you guys wanted to sneak up a little bit, there is kind of a wooded, brushy area that you could possibly sneak through that they wouldn't be able to see you directly, and then you could probably take a look around and see what's going on. The other option would be like going around the backside, climbing up one of the plateaus, and then like peering down into the camp from above.
Yeah, because I was thinking like suspicious, and suspicious is small, like she was saying, fly up high, but 2 miles away, so suspicious actually looks like a bird. Won't be able to get any exact details, but it actually overview of the camp, you can still see people for miles away with the observation.
We could have like air support, and then like we could hide in the brush. And if we get any issues, the air support could come down like dive bomb, and then we can all just sneak attack him.
Gosh.
Brainstorming.
Yep.
Good, which I took the alchemy. I think alchemy is one of the things I took. So I'm
Ooh.
thinking alchemist fire down the road and firebombing people.
That sounds great.
Now you do, even from the distance, you can kind of hear the camp. It is very raucous and exuberant. Doesn't seem like they're too well organized. They're probably still partying their successes of last night.
And we're all wearing. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
And we're all we took the cloaks from the other guys, right?
Yes.
So we're all wearing the cloaks that we could try and sneak in and blend in.
I'm into it.
Because we don't know for sure that they're not, like, that they marked their folks.
That's true. He could have been lying, or they could have been lying to him.
Yeah.
Just for fun, can I like take that guy's face real quick?
Sure.
Cool. I am now him.
All right.
The other thing we can do is possibly come like from. Well, it doesn't have to be the north, but I'm saying from like the north where that little inlet is, and then come down where the trees come in, and then come down from the thing. So basically, the flying frying from miles away is to find the guard posts, like the lookout towers.
Yeah.
So basically, we have a we don't know people, but we understand that there's a guard tower where you just pinged, and there's one by the entrance over by where we're at,
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
so that we could possibly come in from, well, maybe actually the south type thing, more over here or down here,
Good point.
versus or we can't see so much versus the tower seeing us. Because if we come in, originally thought was here, but if we do that, then we're right
Well, I
between the two
mean,
guard towers. They could possibly see us. I'm just throwing it up for
rappelling down the cliff, you're probably going to get. It's going to be fairly easy to see you guys if you do that during the daytime.
Fair point.
So you would probably, if you're going to rappel down the cliff, you're probably going to want to wait till nightfall, just to help with some of that.
Thanks for
But if you're walking in, there's a good chance that they may think you guys are just members who are straggling back in after, maybe you were tired, couldn't walk all the way back to camp, took a nap out on the road, and coming all the way rest of the way.
Well, I'm thinking more along the lines of possible. Well, obviously under cover of night, but instead of repelling, um, maybe suspicious uses. Do you have enlarged suspicious at this level?
From large reduce, I'm pretty sure is second level.
Well, it's a fairy. That's a fairy trait. I don't remember what level.
Oh, you're talking about just as a fairy can he enlarge himself?
Or somebody else, because it's an enlarged spell. So that what I'm saying is, because if he enlarges me, I could actually one by one take the entire party, basically glide
gotcha.
down, fly back up, get the next person, glide down, fly back up. That was why I was curious.
So third level you get fairy fire. Fifth level is enlarge reduce for
Okay.
fairy magic.
Disregard. Okay, I know my fairy has it, but I don't remember when I got it. So okay, that's not an option for us right now.
Good thinking, though.
I say let's try and pretend like we're soldiers from that camp and just kind of wander in. I think Merlin, if you're at the front as someone who you're wearing the guy's face,
Yeah, sure.
and the rest of us can kind of like keep our heads down.
Well, one thing I want to take a look at is what's the makeup of this encampment as far as
Yeah.
other racial things, because obviously Celeste, Nightshade, and Suspicious. I mean, Celeste would be the easiest to cover, but we're completely different sizes or different races. So, is it a big makeup of other creatures?
Well, you did see a good variety of stuff, not just kobolds and humans, but you saw some dwarves and elves. There seems to be a decent smattering of everything. There's some dragonborn. The fairies are a little less common just because they're not as common overall during this time period to be around. So, for those of you who are new to D&D, fairies became a playable race much later. So, there's certain things that you won't see referenced very often in this campaign, primarily because the campaign was written with just the core rulebook races and stuff like that in mind. So,
Okay.
but overall, there will be a decent mix of various characters and things like that.
Now, my concern with that is okay. So I tighten my wings in, I put the hood over so I can sort of cover my features and stuff. I'm just thinking, does it seem even plausible that we could actually pull this off? That was my.
Oh yeah, no, it is definitely something that you guys could probably do.
Okay, let's go with that then. That's their idea. I like it. If we can possibly pull it off.
Yeah, because I think otherwise, like, it feels like, waiting till night, we may, you know, lose some of the information, or we may lose any kind of surprise, or, if the monk that we're looking for is in there,
Yep.
being tortured or something, he might die. So, oops, I just accidentally.
Does anyone
I
have any
Oh,
access to this disguise kit or anything?
I have disguise self. I don't have disguise kit.
I believe that only lasts about an hour, though.
Yeah.
My biggest concern is I completely stand out, and then even though I lost horribly in front of everybody, everybody saw who I was. So
Oh,
it
that's
might
a good point.
be. So it
Yeah,
might be.
it's more the fact that if you came face to face with Cyanrath, you would definitely be recognized, Nightshade.
Yeah, no, but I was possibly thinking maybe anyone that sort of observed the fight. So I was like trying to do that. So I was hoping somebody could disguise me a little bit, make sure that my cloak is covered and everything else, so they can't see my wings type thing. So I was hoping somebody in the party would be able to help out. If not, I'll do my best.
Yep. So
We
I
can-
sent through a roll for you guys. If you want to go ahead and should have gotten a pop up to roll a charisma check.
Ah,
I did
Oh,
not
I
get
think
that
I got
roll,
that.
that pop up. But I'll roll a charisma check.
Oh, I think I did save instead of check. Oops.
That's okay.
Oh,
You're
I
just
may.
plenty high enough.
Roll high, roll high. No.
Oh, dang.
Oh no.
That was a -1.
All right. So, yeah, your fears are well founded, Nightshade.
But is there anything else I can possibly do as far, because I'm aware of that. So like I said, I'm trying to bring my wings in and put the cloak over me. I'm making sure I don't contact anybody.
I
Is there any
mean,
other skill that I could possibly
the
use?
fact that Owlin are not native to Faerun means you're going to be pretty noticeable regardless, unless somebody does something to do that. Now, you guys have a unique opportunity that you also have somebody who is a recognized cultist in your midst at the moment, that you could play that up and work with something.
Do you want me to pretend like he's my prisoner or some shit?
Oh, there we go.
That could be a good way to hide him, is, hide him in plain sight.
Let me see if I have any shackles.
Take some rope and tie him up.
Yeah, I'll just push you
I have
as we're
manacles.
walking. Ooh.
Yeah, I have manacles.
Now,
Perfect.
you will have to have a good story to tell them as to how you captured this guy. Because last they
Found
saw
him
he
trying
was.
to steal our loot.
I'm sure Nefaria can come up with a good story.
Last they saw, he got his ass kicked by a Cindergosa, so.
Well, yeah, a breath weapon lightning bolted me out of the sky. I was holding my own.
You were being
Yeah.
a chicken flying up above of his head.
I wasn't the one hiding in a tin can.
He knew better than to take off his weapons and armor just because you were there. He figured he's smart enough to know that there's people out there that fight unarmed and can be just as deadly unarmed as with weapons.
It's all perspective. He thinks I'm dishonorable. I think he's dishonorable. So
that's fine. Eventually, one of your opinions won't matter anymore. One of the two of you's opinions won't matter eventually.
Are you telling me to roll up a new character now?
Or maybe they die. You never know.
All right. I think this pretend prisoner plot is probably our best bet because I think we'll have we'll have Merlin wearing the face of the recognizable soldier, and then we'll have a potential like, oh yeah, we got this guy. He faced
Perfect.
off, so maybe they'll overlook anything else.
They might even bring us to like where the good stuff is.
True.
Maybe.
All right, so I kind of just like push him in front of us, and he's wearing manacles, and we're just like, oh, this dude, he sucks. We're just talking about how much he sucks. No offense, Nightshade, you're awesome, but we're selling it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you believe this guy thought he could defeat?
So I'm gonna have you
No.
guys
Sell
roll.
it. I will just shuffle, and keep my head down like I'm.
So this is gonna be a group check. I need you guys to roll deception for me to see how good you guys are at pulling off this. Hey, we're a bunch of conquering cultists that's come with our prisoner to.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
And hold on, I'm gonna actually give myself guidance because I'm.
Yep, that works.
I
Nice.
only added 1, but 11.
That's good.
I'm taking my inner defeated self, and so I'm like all humble and everything else.
Actually, I think I would love to do guidance too because that was a 5.
Okay.
No, 5. So I have cantrip for guidance, so I will do that.
That works.
And for that, do I just add a D4?
Yep.
Just roll a d4.
I know you just did it, but
Just grab the die from.
Yeah, it's
all right,
and drop it
I
in the
got-
chat box.
I got a 1.
Nice.
So, 6.
okay.
That's a group check. All the ones add up.
Well,
Oh, goodness.
you guys do manage to believe that you are acting all not sneaky, but yes, we are conquering cultists come to do this, and we have done so well. Da 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 da.
I'm waiting for the butt.
Yeah.
Well, I'm submitting because I don't want to take the whole camp on. So, in all realistic, I realize that my best bet is just to be a prisoner. So I'm a prisoner.
Yep. So as you guys come into camp, a few of the other cultists kind of see you and wave at you, motion you over to the fire out front of their tent.
Do we want to keep going? I kind of glance over at everyone else to see how they're feeling.
I feel like we should be like, oh yeah, we'll be back. We gotta drop off this prisoner guy.
Agreed.
And I look at them with an evil glare, like I want to rip their hearts out.
We're like, guys, sorry, this is too important. We got to get this guy in, and then we'll come enjoy some nice hot dogs or roasted rats or whatever you got going.
Oh, I perked up at the roasted rats.
Oh,
I prefer them raw, though.
Yeah.
Do we see anyone officialish looking around?
Officialish? Officialish? Do you ask for anybody officialish, or are you just looking around?
Just kind of looking around.
Okay, give me a perception check, please.
Surely.
You look around. You don't seem to see like anybody that has like a captain's sash or anything like that on. You do notice, though, a couple of rather unhappy-looking Dragonborn who seem to be handling the work detail of other prisoners.
So, like, they're just, like, hanging out with the prisoners out in the open, walking them somewhere, too? Do they have, like, a direction?
They're not hanging out. It's more like you can see them over there. They're, having them dig latrines and do some cooking and stuff like that. They look a
Can we,
little
like, walk
upset
over?
that they're stuck on guard duty rather than getting to enjoy the party that everyone else is having.
Let's go talk to them. They seem disgruntled.
Okay.
Yeah. Because maybe we could also get them to go. We could say we're taking their, or convince them to take their guard, like to wander off and enjoy the time, and we'll take guard duty.
100%. Completely agree.
Yeah, and I'm trying to sense the mood of the camp and sort of listening to.
Oh, it's not hard to sense. Everybody's quite exuberant about the successful raid on Greenest.
Okay.
All right.
You can see it looks like various groups have a keg of ale or something like that, cracked open, sipping on it, things like that.
So I kind of walk near them and I push Nightshade in front of me. I'm like, "What's up, guys? Check out who we got. Do you need any help over here? We wanted to just bring this prisoner in to help out. You guys look like you have some good stuff going on."
So they look over and go, "Wow, he's even walking?"
Yeah, we took it easy on him. We figured we needed the labor.
Oh, you guys might have taken it easy on him, but from what I recall, Cinder Goso mopped the floor with that guy. How's he even standing still?
I glare at them angrily and say something in what language do I speak other than Common? I think I speak Draconic.
I kick you after you say it, and I say, doesn't matter. Let's put him to work.
I glare at her evilly.
I'm sorry, we're still friends.
I agree.
Do you say that out loud?
Be a good actor.
No, it's just in my head. I just kind of stare at him, and I'm just like, we're friends.
Sorry,
But not so anyone can see. Not so anyone can see.
That's out of character.
Give it a little
realize. I realize I'm gonna get punched and kicked. I'm expecting them. I'm like, before I go in, I tell them to make it real before we even come into the camp.
I feel better about this now.
Okay.
All right. Do they believe me?
Oh, they seem to be buying this story so far.
Especially if you make it real.
So I ask if they need help, if they want any help with any of these prisoners.
Well, we'd love to get a chance to, unwind and enjoy a bit, but we got told we have to do guard duty, and the last time someone pissed off Cindergosa or Esmir, and you see them kind of glance sideways.
Hear Cindergosa's name.
you see them glance sideways, and you see this patch of bare earth where the rock is sticking through that it looks almost like something melted. There's a bit of scorch marks from what looks like electricity, and it also looks like something was bathed in acid.
Ooh.
That's strange.
A lot of
My
different
languages selected.
What was that?
I'm just curious. I don't have my languages selected.
Oh.
I was just going to type in chat. Was all. I'll do it later.
Yeah.
So I said in Draconic when they said the thing. I said coward in Draconic. Whenever they talked about Cinder Sosa. Coward.
Yeah, and the one Dragonborn just looks at you and goes, "You got your butt whipped by her. You should know how not to piss her off."
I look I look at all the melted stuff and the scorch marks and the acid marks, and I'm like, "Hey guys, you working on some new fun torture methods? I didn't know we had this going."
No, that's what happened to the last guy that disobeyed Syndragosa
Oh,
and
I
Rezmir.
get you. Oh my god.
They tied him to a post there, and, well, you can see there's nothing left of the post and not much left of him.
Fair.
First, Syndragosa fried him, and then Rezmir melted him. If you want to make an Arcana or Nature check, you can.
Let's see. Hoping for a higher one than the last few that I've had.
Oh, wait. The dog thing.
Why is nature an intelligence check?
Woo.
All right.
Oh my
so,
god. Who got the 0? Celeste, that stinks.
Me.
I'm so sorry.
Our ranger has no knowledge of nature.
You guys are in trouble.
Oh no. I got an
That's why
18
I'm
though.
wise.
All she knows how to do is find the shrooms.
Not the good ones.
I didn't know you weren't supposed to eat them.
All right. So, Merlin, when he says Rezmir melted the guy, something triggers in the back of your mind, and you're like, oh, black dragons, acid.
Oh no.
You haven't seen a second dragon, so you could almost assume that Rezmir is probably another half-dragon like Syndragosa. Or, sorry, I keep calling him Syndragosa. Cyanrath. I've been playing too much World of Warcraft.
Oh.
That's one of the dragons in World of Warcraft is Syndragosa.
Oh.
Ah.
Okay, don't want to mess with the black dragon. Acid does not sound fun.
There'll be a trip.
It's not that kind of acid.
But we're on that path.
Well, do we have any Celeste shrooms?
Well, do we want to see if there's if Sinrath or Rusimir is around camp?
Yeah, that's a good question.
You're pretty sure they're somewhere around here.
They're definitely.
Looking at the camp map and what you guys have seen so far, you would imagine that they probably spend a lot of time at this really big tent down here.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That looks like some kind of command tent. There's also this cave back here that you guys have seen a little bit of, but aren't really sure what it's for.
Bet you that's where the treasure is.
It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible that there's no treasure left in this camp, and that's where the dragon's sleeping.
Totally fair.
Where they keep the prisoners.
Well, now that you've had a chance to look around the camp, you can see. I think it's. Let's see. I'm going to say it's over kind of right in this area. There are several, not tall crosses to crucify someone on, but just large wooden X's. And you do see a few people tied to them.
And the picture, of course, you threw up there is our monk.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yep, you recognize that as the monk you were looking for.
Well, shit.
I just happen to know that's the monk. I wouldn't recognize him from Sam, but it is a half elf.
Yep.
I kind of want to say, well, should we let Sinrath know that we brought our prisoner Nightshade so we can get closer to the
I'm
monk
so nervous.
area? But I'm also afraid we're like just gonna try and like sacrifice Nightshade accidentally,
Or ourselves, or both.
ourselves or both.
But also, I feel the same way because like we need information. We got to get closer to over there. I feel like we take out low level guys. It's not going to do so much, unless we. I was gonna say we could bring Nightshade over to like the big X's and be like, "Hey, you got an extra?" And then try to wait for people to look away and then just pop the monk and Nightshade off. But how many people are over there?
Right now, it looks like the um the monk is probably the only one there. Everyone else seems to be getting drug around as part of work details.
Should we try sneaking up?
What if we said, we'll go check in and see if we can take over their guard duty, and we'll go drop this guy off with the other prisoners.
Good plan.
And that's our excuse for going that way. We're delivering this new prisoner, and we'll see if we can take over their guard duty so they can go celebrate. Right, bros?
Since it's an X, we could probably loosely tie him up so that he can escape with the other guy.
Yeah. If we do end up having time.
Yeah, so we loosenly we earlier we loosenly put the manacles on me, loosen up that I can sort of slip right out of them if I need to, but they're tight enough that that they can't be observed that they're so like right there. So basically, I have to like do a little bit of thing, maybe take an action to do it.
Okay. All right, let's tell these dudes that we're gonna go try to take over their commands. They don't think we're sus, and we're gonna kind of go over to the X's and see what's up.
Okay. So you head over there. Doesn't really seem to be anybody around where the prisoners are at the moment. The one guy, your monk friend, is just kind of limply hanging on the cross that's there.
All right, I kind of whisper to him. I'm like, "Yo, dude, you awake? You scum?"
He looks up and you see him kind of like working his mouth slightly.
I wink at him.
But he can't seem to quite get whatever he was trying to do to work.
Can I healing word him?
You could.
You said I kind of
She's trying to do that without being seen. Or
that will be harder.
Huh.
I'm sure that was her intent.
Yes, I understand that.
How loud does my healing word have to be? Can I be like, or can I say something mean even, and try to be like, yeah, you. I don't know.
It's more the fact that he looks kind of bruised and battered, and casting healing word would probably produce some sort of visible effect on him, which people would notice and then wonder what you were up to.
Okay, fair.
Could we try and just slip him some water or something?
Well, we have potion of healing.
Would that have a similar effect?
Now, you guys do have a skill called medicine. You could check and see what is wrong with him using that skill before you decided to cast any kind of healing or do anything like that.
That would be smart.
I assume it's a torture.
Yeah.
Oops, I think I may have done that twice.
That's okay.
Take the
Between-
19.
I'm just gonna observe him. So
Between
whatever
Nefaria
minus is
and Celeste, it's quite obvious he is been left standing out here tied to this thing for a couple of days now. So he was probably tied up before the raid happened on Greenest.
Hmm.
And between the sun and all that, he does not appear to be wounded. It just appears that he is extremely dehydrated.
Okay.
Which would
Yeah,
be
so-
a common practice in trying to break a prisoner in most places, is to, get them to the point where they're so desperate for water or food that they will reveal their information in exchange for such a small luxury.
Let's get this dude some water.
as they're trying to give the water, I'm gonna cause a distraction, like I'm trying to escape or something, so they can do it without it being observed. So
All right, so you start fussing over at the work detail. Give me a deception check to see how well you can pull their attention.
I'm actually trying to assist them in their deception check or their stealth check. But okay,
Yeah. Well, we're just saying how good you are about doing this without getting yourself into more trouble.
trouble. That's my middle name.
Oh, I know that. You play enough of other games with me. I know you're trouble.
What'd you say? Deception?
Deception or persuasion.
It's gonna be the same with my -1 crew. A 0.
Oh my god, no!
All right,
All of the time
so
we roll a 0.
I was
so you guys are sitting there. You're looking him over, and you hear this commotion from the work detail, and it basically sounds like one of them has gotten rather upset because one of the prisoners bit him.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
And he wants to have the prisoner whipped within an inch of his life for such an assault. However, there is a very good distraction going on if you guys wanted to do something with this guy.
Yeah, okay.
I think I'd like to give him some water.
Okay.
And I think I would like to also try and whisper to him, because we knew that he left his staff and a choker that had a dragon design on it.
Yep.
That may have been connected to Lathander, who is the deity that I follow. So I would like to just lean over while I'm trying to give him water and be like, I follow Lathander. We're here to help you.
Okay.
Just to try and show that we're not like trying to give him poison water or something.
Yep. So first of all, give me a stealth check to try and do this. You will have an advantage since most of the guards seem to be dealing with a rather cantankerous owlin at the moment.
Gotta watch out for those bitey ones.
Ooh.
You get to roll twice.
Well, the Feria has disadvantage because of armor, so it turned it into a straight roll.
Even with stealth.
Oh, do I do stealth too?
No, that was why.
Yeah. But you guys are able to slip him some water. As he greedily slurps it, he stares straight at Merlin and says, "You'll find out nothing, cultist swine."
I'm like, "Psst, bro, I am a shape changer. I'm trying to help you. Shh."
And then you see him do the same motion again. Give me a dexterity save, Merlin.
Oh, goddamn. Roll.
French. I'll be right back.
Oh my goodness, my thing is low right now. Hang on.
Not good.
We're gonna get like 6 rolls in 30 seconds.
That happens. That happens. There it goes.
Ah,
All right, so you
Oh,
quickly
wow.
dodge out of the way as he spits at you. Swine of the dragons. I shall
Oh my
never
goodness.
tell you.
I'll say
You'll learn
again,
nothing.
I'm your friend.
So now go ahead and you guys roll me a persuasion check to see if you can convince him that you are actually not dragon cultists, since you're being led around by someone who he's actually seen in the camp torturing him at times in the past.
My disguise is good then.
Yeah, your disguise is good, but he's also like not very trusting at the moment. But you guys are able to convince him. Yeah, Merlin, you lean over and kind of like poke Nefaria, and you're like, "Say something about Lathander."
And I'll be like, look, we understand second chances and rebirth, and now's the time for your rebirth.
And you see the light kind of click on in his eyes, like, wait a second, no dragon cultist would have said something like that.
Like, we promise we're here for you. We're here to help you. Your apprentice sent us.
He escaped?
He did. He's safe. He's alive. He's safe back in Greenst.
And you see him just kind of deflate. Like, the tension is just completely gone out of him. I'm glad to hear Nesman is safe. I feared when I didn't see him here that there was only two alternatives, that he escaped or that Lathander had welcomed him into his embrace.
No, he is safe, and we have been working to try and protect Greenst as best we can. And he let us know that he wasn't sure what had happened to you, if you had disappeared or had been taken. So we were hoping we would find you.
I see, yes. Well, unfortunately, I'm a unwilling guest of these cultists.
I look at him, I'm like, dude, can you run?
If I had to, I could, but it has been several days, and I am rather weak at the moment.
We can use weak. We can use some convincing hobbling.
We can work with weak.
Are we going for the prisoner bit again? What do you guys think?
I don't believe that you'll be able to simply walk me out through this many of the cultists. You see, one of them noticed my order, and while I follow Lathander, I am a member of an order that, shall we say, is anathema to everything that these cultists follow and believe. So I doubt they're going to let me simply walk out of camp.
Is there anything you can tell us about what's happening here and their plans from
I
where you
have
live?
overheard a few things. I would highly recommend you stay away from the command tent and the caves. Most of the cultists aren't allowed into the caves unless they are a dragon claw or one of the half dragons. Um, aside from,
Can you guys hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Were you saying something and I missed you? Yep. Well, if you're talking now, we can't hear you. Merlin? I think Merlin is having connection issues.
Are they?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
You're cutting in and out apparently because you'll be there and we can hear you and then suddenly we can't.
I just switched my Wi-Fi and tried to fix it on my iPad, so hopefully
Gotcha.
that'll do it.
Okay,
There we go.
sounds good.
So we can't get close to the cave or the command tent unless we're a dragon claw or a half dragon.
Got
Yes.
you. Okay, thank you.
He tells you that there are several cultists here in the camp, but many of them are initiates, so they are not considered full members of the cult. There's also quite a few mercenary groups that seem to be working here in the camp as well. Then, of course, there's also the kobolds. They simply run around trying their best to follow the half dragons and talk about how wonderful the masters are. From what he can tell, the cult has been collecting treasure. Greenus is probably one of the largest towns that they've raided, but overall, they don't seem to be super interested in taking prisoners. But if the opportunity comes up that they can capture somebody to do latrine duty or cook or something that is one of the less pleasurable jobs, they will happily drag somebody off to do that rather than be stuck doing it themselves. So,
So I can become a half dragon if I want, right? Because I can do other species.
you can appear to be a half dragon potentially, yes. But you also would know that half dragons are very rare. So
Dragon Claw might be better.
It's more of a case of they would probably know who each other are fairly intimately, especially here in this camp. So, trying to imitate one of them would be much harder to do than, Dragon Claw, but there's also the question of identifying who is the Dragon Claws.
Okay, your cube thing is really awesome too, by the way. Sorry.
Oh, yes, sorry. I'm a fidgeter.
Awesome.
I am a fidgeter, so I sit and I fidget with stuff. My wife got it for me for Christmas.
That's amazing.
So yes, it helps with the brain juice.
Yeah.
But
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good. So as I was saying, there are some dragon claws. That is a rank in the cult. It is not necessarily a what do I say? Not like a species or a creature that you would be imitating. It's just people of a certain rank within the cult.
But they're probably more well known too, right? Like there's probably not like a million Dragon Claws.
True, but it's also the case that they're not going to be as scrutinized if they do something.
Okay.
But they may or may not have full access to everything.
Mm.
So it's kind of a question of which tactic do you want to go with, as far as who do you want to imitate, and what are they going to bring to the table, so to speak, of appearing like them. The thing is the big thing is you don't get any memories or anything like that. So if there's certain passphrases or something that they have been told, you're not going to know that information or even know they exist if you just grab their identity.
Good point.
So,
Rasmir and the coward. Nightshade, your chat comments are always great. So anyone got any ideas?
I'm pretending to be a prisoner, so I'm not communicating any ideas I have right now.
Fair point.
I mean, you guys can also just, you've been invited over to a couple of the different campfires. So if you wanted to go try and get some additional information that way,
that's a good idea too.
Entirely.
Yeah.
We just gotta ditch our monk friend.
Possibility, and then come back and effect a rescue once you know more.
Yeah, but the guards might say things around me because I'm just a lowly prisoner.
They might. Then again,
we could also encourage additional drinking.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Yeah, getting the camp more sloshed would.
Can we fill really big looking cups full of water, but make it, I don't know, look like whatever meat or whatever they got, and then we can just be like, oh, let's play some drinking games.
That would be a deception check, and you can definitely give that a try.
There we go.
All right. Yeah. So you can kind of wander from campsite or from kind of tent cluster to tent cluster, kind of stirring up some drinking games and getting people a little more liquid courage and libations.
Yeah. We'll sing some songs.
There seems to be one song that is fairly popular amongst all of the guards and cultists. It is the anthem to Tiamat, which you guys kind of struggled the first couple of times to remember the whole thing, trying to kind of fake it till you make it type of thing. But you do eventually start picking up on the majority of it. You get this feeling that there are some of the cultists who are here just because this promises to be, potentially something that will give them wealth, glory, loot. But there are a few of those ones that are, as some people would put it, true believers. That they truly believe that Tiamat will be returning soon, and taking care of all of the problems that they have. Some of them believe that her coming will herald putting those no good goody two shoes metallic dragons in their place. Teach them to interfere with good business and commerce of raiding, pillaging, and looting. Especially that Order of the Silver Dragon that likes to meddle. If you guys recall last week, that was you've got the feeling that that's the order that your half elf monk friend is a part of that makes him so hated by the cult.
Okay.
Because their ideals are basically do good, aid others, that kind of thing. And, meddling little pests is what most of the cultists see them as.
Whenever people say that, I'm like, oh yeah, those are the worst. Scum.
But
Yeah, can't wait for them to get their comeuppance.
Just hype them up.
You do see a few kobolds that come and go out of the cave in the back as well. But most of the cultists... You do notice that quite a few of the cultists seem to be uncomfortable with that cave and try their best to stay away from it.
Can I see the face of any of the kobolds coming out?
Sure. What are you looking at? Oh, for?
Just their face, because maybe I can steal it.
You can certainly try. Do you speak Draconic?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
So that would be a bit of a problem since most of them only speak Draconic, it seems like.
Okay.
But you're welcome to give it a shot.
I do have comprehend languages, but I just wouldn't be able to speak back. Probably.
Yeah, that's the big thing is if you can't speak back, people are going to be like, a kobold who doesn't understand Draconic.
Well, so my languages...
Aren't you guys
languages say
born?
choice and common?
What was that?
My languages say choice and common. Does that mean I have a choice?
Yeah, that means you do have a language that you can select that you haven't picked yet.
Can I pick Draconic?
Yes, you can.
Fantastic.
I think everybody else in the party sort of speaks it with Celeste and.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those highly recommended languages, just so that you know what's being discussed in this particular adventure.
Okay. Okay. I feel like I'd be on my own if I end up becoming one of those kobolds and go into the cave, though, probably. Because I don't know how I would... Like, we can't pull the prisoner thing over there.
Yeah, it'd be kind of difficult.
Oh, wait, unless I could disguise self with the outfit of a dragon claw. But, oh, wait, they know them, don't they? Never mind.
No, he says wearing as much.
So let's put it this way. Dragon claws are kind of like officers for this camp. So they're going to be more noticeable. They're also going to be expected to know certain things, have certain passphrases, challenge, counter challenge type things for people, for not for the people, but for the other cultists to be able to confirm their identity or them to confirm each other's identity. So trying to emulate one of them could be done,
Mm-hmm.
but if you tried to go somewhere where only they're supposed to be, there's probably going to be some kind of like, oh, and the passphrase is, because, things
Yeah.
with appearance altering magic do exist, so they're not going to just be like, oh yeah, of course you can do this thing because you look like so and so.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go in there on my own. I feel like that's suicide.
Are we learning any like camp gossip while we're traveling?
Yeah, you're learning some camp gossip. I some of it's the same stuff that you got from your monk friend, because he's been listening to most of this for the last little bit as well.
Can I find someone disgruntled and get some like serious dirt on whatever's going on?
Depends on what kind of dirt you're looking for.
Yeah, I'll take any dirt.
There's word that Cyanrath is falling out of favor with some of the primary cult leaders because they're not bringing in as much to the cult as other groups are. So there's folks who are thinking that there's a good chance that the schedule and intensity of raids is probably going to be picking up sometime in the near future.
Any ideas on the next spots or wherever else they're targeting?
At the moment, they believe that they've cleared out most of the stuff in this area.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're probably going to be heading further up the trade routes. Trying to get closer to larger cities where they can ambush caravans and stuff like that. That's going to be
We gotta
more
save the caravans
for them.
Okay. I want to grab the monk for sure, and I kind of want to take a peek at the treasure. I don't know about you guys. That might end up being. Do we know? Has anyone mentioned if it's a dragon? It's still treasure, right?
Well, you did see the blue dragon that attacked, and you guys kind of ran it off during the attack on Greenest.
True. But no one's murmuring that that dragon is like in camp.
Nobody has said anything about them, no.
Okay. I feel like they'd mention
The
that.
fact
They
that
all
they're a
like,
little wary means that maybe the dragon is in the cave, and that's where the dragon horde is.
It's definitely where the horde is.
Are there any places that, other than the command tent and cave, that look like there may be information like maps or plans or anything that we could look in?
You could try looking around for some of that stuff, but it's hard to be sure what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the more involved you get, the higher your chance of discovery.
Okay.
Explosives collapse the cave.
I kind of love that. No treasure for anyone.
I'm just daydreaming.
Yeah, you've gotten moved from cook duty to the latrine duty after the stunt you pulled.
Should we save Nightshade? He's good though, right? He's not like getting whipped still.
Are you guys gonna go check on him? How are you gonna check on him without arousing suspicion?
Fair point. Maybe we just get so drunk we want to go poke some prisoners and
Oh,
kick them.
I can message from 120 feet if
Ooh.
we can get into visual range. Because I can point at Nightshade and whisper a message, and he and only he can hear the message and can reply in a whisper that only I can hear.
Oh, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
So that way we could at least make sure he's cool and say, hey, here's what we're thinking. He won't be able to do a whole lot, just like say, you know, can't do like 5 paragraphs of conversation, but at least it would say like,
He could tell you if it
We're
sounded
gonna
like
be-
a good idea or not. Or
Yeah.
if you needed an immediate evacuation.
Let's be like, hey, we're thinking about hanging around and collapsing the cave before we run out. What do you think?
yeah, because if we can create a large enough distraction, I think getting the monk out is important because he might be able to connect us with potentially the Order of the Silver Dragon, and we could get more resources or information or something, or at least people who are of the same mind.
Agreed. Do we have explosives, guys? Anyone?
No, I was just daydreaming. I'm just.
Dang.
That's not actual an idea. I was just daydreaming. Gnomes would have explosives.
In some worlds.
Yeah, in this world too.
A tinker or gnome might have something.
Now,
What you need is a good artificer.
Yes.
But you could always head back to Greenest and see if they've got anything there that would, work for that.
Dang, that's a far walk.
Of course, there's always the question of, do you want to take Leosin with you, or do you want to leave him here?
If we leave him, he might die, but if we take him, we might not be able to come back because it might be more on guard.
Well, you are noticing that, as the afternoon goes along, a lot of people are starting to get kind of more settled, less party mentality, more back to normal activities. So it definitely would not be something that would be easy to leave camp and slip back in unnoticed.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. You're digging the latrines. You're not in the latrines after they've been used.
Fair enough.
I still support it.
Oy, 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 oy,
I'm torn.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. There's benefits and drawbacks to both options. So
if I shoot like a couple Eldritch Blasts at the thing, it's not gonna make any sort of that's not powerful enough to bring down a cave, right?
Probably not unless it's already weakened. Spell-wise, the best thing for bringing down rocks and stuff is something like Shatter.
Damn it!
or thunderclap or something like that that produces a shockwave.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing my dragon breath, even with the mushrooms, won't work.
No.
Add a little mead to it.
No, not quite enough. Nightshade, go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
What am I saving again?
All right. So after several hours of hard labor, you're starting to feel a little on the tired side.
Oh no.
So you have one level of exhaustion. So for the rest of you, exhaustion comes in 6 levels. First level is not terribly bad, but it's annoying because it means you have disadvantage on ability checks, and that. Second level, it starts getting worse as you start taking penalties to like your attack rolls and stuff like that. You start losing movement speed as it gets higher. Until at 5th level, you're completely unconscious, and if you somehow get to exhaustion level 6, you just die.
So we should be moving quickly, and we're being indecisive.
Well, it's more the case of just it's not just Nightshade. You can tell all of the prisoners are getting tired. The ones that have been here for a while, you can tell they don't look very well nourished. So, you think that they probably aren't getting fed super well. They're just tired, struggling, that kind of thing.
Okay.
But, taking an insane amount of time would probably not help either.
Fair.
All right. What if I did thaumaturgy to make it seem like something was happening? So like causing tremors on the ground or like an instantaneous sound.
Okay.
So that can make it seem like something is happening.
All right. What are you trying?
People?
What are you trying to make it seem like is happening? And are you distracting them for any particular other action?
What if?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say because I think the most important thing is to try and get the monk out.
Sure.
So if we could just at least get attention away from where he's at and get him down and try and get him away.
So I completely agree. So I would say like kind of put the distraction maybe where we came in-ish. And then just kind of thinking I could kind of run over to the cave while everyone's looking the other way, just take a little peeky peek and then grab the monk and turn around and meet back up with you guys or something. Like what if I like dress up like one of the kobolds from before who I saw?
So go ahead and also give me, everybody but Nightshade, give me a perception check.
Oh, damn.
All right. So suspicious. You realize that they have rigged kind of like a harness on Nightshade to make it difficult for him to fly.
Ooh.
So his flying speed would be halved at this point. If you guys didn't take the time to clear that out.
Well, how many fingers did I get in the process?
Yeah, that's the big question. You nipped a few of them, and they are not happy with you.
Okay. Do we just want to grab the monk? Do we want me to look inside the cave? Should we just cut our losses and kind of run with the monk?
I mean, you still will either have to
Probably.
rescue Nightshade or something
and
like that as well. Or, I mean, I guess you could always just leave Nightshade here.
No, we'll bring him. We'll bring him. I meant to include him too.
So right
Yeah, so
now,
what is
right now they've got Nightshade up over here, kind of in this side canyon, working on the latrines and other stuff like that.
so maybe you can two of us can go and kind of free the monk, and two of us can go over to Nightshade and see if
Sure.
we can get them free while we're still dressed like soldiers or cultists. We could say
Sure.
that, he's wanted. Sinrath or Resmir wants to talk to him and want to
Question him.
escort him. Yeah. So that gets Nightshade free, hopefully.
Sure. Let's go for prisoners. And yeah, I feel like the cave is too dangerous for right now.
Yeah. As much as I want to see what's in there,
I know.
I don't want to die.
Yeah, same. I'm struggling. All right, I'll go on. I'll get Nightshade. Who's going with me?
I'll go.
Let's go, Suspicious.
Okay, so Celeste and I will work on getting the monk free and without getting too much suspicion.
Would the cultist that I am now have enough sway to grab a prisoner? Would I do better as like a kobold or someone, or?
Well, I mean, you are the one that brought him in, so
Okay, sure.
that might help some, but it's just kind of a whatever you feel like is the thing.
All right, I'm sticking with my cultist.
Okay. So we'll start with the monk. So it appears that he has shackles around his wrists that go up and into the carved ends of this wooden X.
Nope.
So you're going to have to figure out some way to get him down, but he's also visible enough that you're pretty sure somebody's going to notice if he's gone.
Maybe
There's
we
also the
can,
question of how are you getting him out of the camp?
well, maybe
close
we
did
find another cultist that is
It is getting closer to evening time as well. The shadows are starting to lengthen.
that we can find someone that's like totally inebriated, knock him out, and exchange them in place of the monk,
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
and then carry out the monk as if he's inebriated and we're just kind of drunkenly staggering along.
Okay.
Get him a hood and cultist outfit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think if it's getting closer towards kind of dimness, then I can use my Channel Divinity Twilight Sanctuary to cast a kind of sphere of filters with that gives dim light, so it may be harder to see. It only lasts for a minute.
Oh, a minute's all. If you're ready to go, a minute might be all it takes to get the shackles and swap somebody out and put them back.
Yeah, so that would give us a little bit of cover, and we could hopefully switch out without anybody really realizing.
Okay. I mean, there are some
All right.
tents right there, so you could probably like hustle him off to the side and get him changed or something so he wouldn't be as recognizable in the garb that he was wearing.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So go ahead and give me either a perception or insight roll to see if you can locate a sufficiently inebriated member of the dragon cult to replace Resmir, or not Resmir, but your monk friend with.
Nice.
That'll do it. You even find one that is a half-elf.
Double
All
nice.
right. Finally.
That's amazing.
And
And
with
I do have
with a little bit of scuffing up, you're pretty sure that it'd be quite hard for them to tell he's not Leosin.
And I do have a crowbar in my inventory. I don't know if that will help us get the
I mean, you could.
manacles, or we could just like.
Do you have somebody who is proficient with picking locks?
I am not. I don't know about you, Celeste.
No, he's not suspicious. Should be able.
Oh damn.
What about like cooking supplies? Is there like some lard or
Give me a look
other
around.
Is that investigation?
Perception.
Perception.
Yep. Nice. All right. So you're able to slip over to the cook tent, grab a little bit of grease, and grease up his wrists. And you're pretty sure with a little bit of work, you could probably get him free from the manacles. Now you just got to get the other guy in. So I need a sleight of hand check from someone to try and slip Leosin out and slip the other guy in. You have advantage if Merlin or if Nefaria is using her Twilight Sanctuary. So since Celeste has the higher score, why don't you go ahead and roll the advantage, Celeste? So just roll sleight of hand again.
Oh, okay. With advantage?
No, just roll it a second time.
Oh, okay.
Oh damn it! That was almost a 20.
So the 14 is your high one. It takes you most of the minute, and you're starting to sweat that you're not going to get the new guy put back in place quick enough, but you do manage to get him secured before the sanctuary drops, and you get Leosin bundled into a tent. For those of you going after Nightshade, I'm going to need a deception check to bluff your way past the guards and convince them that Nightshade should come with you guys. That'll do it.
Nice.
All right, so you guys get up there and tell the guards that Cinder or Cyan Wrath wants to have a little more fun with this one, and you see the guards kind of look at each other, and then kind of give Nightshade a bit of a pitying look, and then they.
If they're giving me a pity, they must have all their fingers in.
Oh, this is a slightly different group of guards, not the ones that you snipped on, but even they know that if you're getting personal attention from Cyan Wrath, you're probably not going to make it back. You do hear several of them in Draconic betting on how long it will be before he is feeding the whelps in the cave.
All right, so we walk back to try to meet up with Nefaria and Celeste.
Okay.
And
So
how are we
you-
going to get out of here?
So you guys are currently like over in this area of the camp.
Okay.
Is-
Right in front of the people we want to avoid.
not too close that they're going to be like, oh, there they are. However, the problem is you now have at least one prisoner with you. And so walking out the front door is not going to be super easy.
Can we like throw a rope up the side, or does that only work going down?
Well, you have somebody else who can take care of that problem.
Oh, flying people, yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah, is it dark enough to where we actually have a chance of getting away with this, or?
I would say you realize that you probably should wait a little bit longer, but now that you've freed Leosin, the clock is ticking, so you guys are going to need to move quickly. So you're going to need to make some stealth checks.
Okay. Woo!
I have like no stealth whatsoever.
All right. So aside from Nefaria, you guys all passed.
Oh no.
Which, since this is a group check, that means as long as at least half of you pass, you've succeeded. So, Suspicious, you're able to kind of find a dark nook out of line of sight of the guard towers and run a rope up there so that everybody else can work their way up. While you're doing that, I'm guessing somebody's probably cutting Nightshade out of his harness, that's preventing him from flying.
Yeah, give him a chance to actually fly away.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So at that point, I'm going to need some athletics checks from those of you who cannot fly.
Woo! I keep rolling 17s. I freaking love it.
Hey.
All right.
Hey, you
Look
too.
at those 3 17s.
So you guys channel your inner spider monkey and slip your way up the cliffside and start heading away. You get about 20 minutes away and you hear some horns blowing from the direction of the camp, and you get the feeling that they finally figured out your deception. But by this point, you guys are well on your way back to Greenest.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So you get back to town. It is about midnight. You're all rather tired. Leosin, especially as he has been struggling to keep up with you guys, just kind of finds a place to collapse and says, we can talk more in the morning if you want to.
We want.
And I want to make a point of like going and finding his apprentice and letting him know that we've returned him.
Yep.
Good plan.
So when you locate Nesman, he thanks you guys. He says, unfortunately, my order eschews worldly possessions, so I cannot give you any reward, but I have a feeling that the information that he has is probably quite valuable, as we've been trailing this group for some time now. So you guys go ahead and get a nice long rest.
Yeah, can he like watch out for us while we sleep?
You guys are back in town.
Oh, cool. So we're just safe.
Yeah, you guys go find an inn. The mayor, actually, the mayor puts you up in his house as thanks for
In his bedroom.
doing all that. Well, there's a few more of you than will fit in his bedroom, but something like that. And you guys have
Platonic slumber party.
Yep. You guys get a chance to rest, recuperate. The next morning, you go to meet with Governor Nighthill and Leosin to discuss what you guys have seen. So, Nighthill, welcome. Come, please sit. As they bring out breakfast. Leosin does look slightly better now that he's gotten something to drink, gotten some food in him, had a good night's rest, and says, well, after all you've already done for me personally and the people of Greenest, I hate to ask more of you, but the need is great. I dare to hope you can aid me one more time.
Whoa. Didn't you offer us 250 gold per person? Let's pay first.
This is Leosin that's asked.
Okay.
He says, I've got several. I am in no condition to try anything like this. However, I do need you to return to the cultist camp to see if they are preparing for another raid, moving out, or hauling anything substantial out of that cave. If you do get the opportunity to get into the cave and look around, it would be quite useful to see if anything has changed recently. He also offers you 150 gold for this information, but he can only supply that once he is able to get to Elturel.
So has he
Now, I did
he
overhear
said
that.
He said if anything's changed, has he been in the cave?
He will let you know that he got a little ways in and was able to see some stuff in the cave, but he was subsequently captured and was not able to get very far. He's suspecting that if they've taken stuff out recently or moved stuff around in there, enlarged areas, stuff like that, it's going to be fairly obvious due to the nature of the stonework being freshly disturbed.
Can we ask him? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I am going to mention that, there is something in the cave that they're referring to as whelps, because they were talking about how I was going to be fed to them. I don't know what's in the cave, but something they're calling whelps.
You see him kind of nervously lick his lips, and he says, well, I do know that several prisoners have gotten sent in there after they perished and and it was not for healing or resurrection. I doubt that they're keeping a morgue in there, so I would imagine yes, they are probably feeding something.
And now I ask him, how did you get caught? Are there passwords? How can we, avoid what you did? Tell us more.
Truthfully, only a few people are allowed in the cave, and most of them are recognized on sight amongst each other. So I got caught because one of them turned the corner and ran straight into me and knew I did not belong there.
Can you point out anyone who's specifically able to be in the cave?
Well,
Or describe them?
Cyanrath, Resmir. There was a third. What was his name? He stops to think for a moment. Mordath. Mordath is the kind of coordinator of everything. Runs the whole camp. Cyanrath works for Mordath. Resmir was the one that initially set the camp up.
Okay. Would you be mad if we blew up the cave afterwards?
As long if what I think is in there, it probably would not be a bad thing if you could find a way to do it. However, when I was looking, it did not appear that the cave was a weakness of stone, but rather dug by Dragonclaw.
Oh no.
So I doubt it is weak enough to simply collapse it easily.
Where's your dwarven engineer when you need him?
Well, I think he's stuck in the infirmary dealing with getting knocked upside the head by some cultists.
Is there any other way we could keep people from going into that cave after we leave? Or anything else anyone can think of?
I think it would depend on what you find in there.
Okay.
There's a good chance that some of the larger items of the local villages has been stashed in there. So if you are able to clear everything out and not destroy the cave, it would be of great benefit to the locals in order to find their missing belongings.
Fair point.
And at that point, let's see. Nighthill will remind you that, recovering the valuables is part of what he is paying you guys for, as
About
well
that
as
money. You ever gonna see it?
Well, you found out where the camp was and how many of the raiders there were roughly and their leadership. Also, what's motivating the attacks, but you have not found where they plan to strike next.
Oh, actually, we know that they're gonna go north to cities and try to get caravans.
So I'll tell you what. I will give you 200 gold of the 250, and if you can provide me with their next target, I'll pay you the remaining 100 gold.
Fine.
All right. So he writes a note and hands it to one of the pages, who runs off and a few moments later comes back with 1,000 gold for you guys.
Okay.
All right.
Any other supplies you guys think we need while we're here?
Did Leosin ever see, like, caravans or anything coming in and out? Or was it only cultists?
As far as he knows, it was only cultists. He says that occasionally they would put give some of the most valuable stuff to the blue dragon that was helping them, and they would ferry it to another location. But if they for some reason did decide to move out, there's enough of them there that they could probably distribute most of the treasure that's left, aside from very large, bulky items, amongst them to return. But it depends on what their next moves are. There's talk of them heading north to Elturel or other places, possibly meeting up with other members of the cult. But at the moment, they do not have any particular or he doesn't have any particular knowledge of where they're actually going.
Okay. Is there anything else we should know about their weaknesses or anything you picked up in the camp that you think would be useful to us?
Other than don't get caught, no, I don't really have anything else that I could share with you.
Okay. Well, what do you guys think? Are we going back into it? We should go back into it.
Yeah, I think we have to.
I agree.
I'm game.
All right, so you guys get to third level.
Woo!
Woo!
For any of you, this will be your point to choose your class archetype, which is going to be basically special things that will flavor how your character approaches things. Some of you, like Merlin, it is, and Nefaria, that was a first level thing for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But for Nightshade and Suspicious and Celeste, you guys will be able to pick that first, or your first real bit of something that kind of flavors how your character will be within their overall class structure. So, for example, Suspicious, you're going to have choices of what kind of rogue you want to do. Like, are you going to be an assassin rogue that you get really good abilities the very first round of combat, especially if you surprise people, and can do massive amounts of damage that first round, but then kind of are just normal the rest of the time. The other archetypes is called a thief. So you get really good abilities of like getting into places, going through things, eventually you get so good at getting places and doing things that you're not supposed to that you can even make magic items think that you are a particular class when you're not. There's also like a swashbuckler rogue who their whole thing is they're really good at melee combat. They get a modification to how their sneak attack works, that if they're facing off against a single enemy and that enemy has none of their allies within 5 feet of it, then you get to use your sneak attack on them as if they had one of your allies adjacent to them. I'm trying to think of what other archetypes are out there, but that's just some of the archetypes that are there. Merlin, you're going to get to pick your pact at third level. So you kind of get to pick between like Pact of the Blade, Pact of the Tome, Pact of the Chain. And what each of those does is like Pact of the Blade is really good for if you want to get more attacks, do things like and be more melee combat focused. Pact of the Chain is really good for some stuff like keeping you healed, making it easier for you to use your familiar because you get a special familiar. You can use that familiar to do things, get around, stuff like that.
That's great.
Or Pact of the Tome gives you a lot of utility abilities, things like that. And the other thing is it will also influence what Eldritch invocations are available for you as you level up as well. Because certain ones are only available to certain packs.
Okay. And the pack, the boon option, is that like something I can add on to any of them, or is that because that looks like kind of like what they had before, which is like helping them get better rolls.
The boon option?
It says packed boon option.
Yeah. Yeah, so that would be your Pact of the Blade, Pact of the Chain, Pact of the Tome. I think there's one other one, and I'm spacing on what it's called. Yeah, the Talisman. You basically get a special necklace that you can basically create an extra dimensional space inside of. And so then you can go inside there and do stuff without having people to worry about stuff. Or, for example, if you need to get somewhere, you can go inside your talisman and hand it to Nightshade or Suspicious. And because you're in an extra dimensional space, they're just carrying the talisman around, and then they can call you back out, and you can pop out wherever you're at.
That's awesome. And then also, when I fail an ability check, this is the one I was reading, you can get an extra 4. That sounds more useful, but do I get a familiar either way if I don't pick Chain?
No.
Oh, damn.
So
I really want a familiar.
The only 2 ways that Warlocks get familiars is you take Pact of the Chain and you get the improved familiar, or you take Pact of the Tome and you find somebody to teach you the Find Familiar ritual.
All right, I'm going Chain. Can I pick my familiar?
So there should be a list of the basic familiars, and then you also get like Quasit, Pseudo Dragon, and Sprite as improved familiars that you can get aside from what's listed in the Find Familiar spell.
Yeah. Now they have added a few of the special ones, a Slod Tadpole and something else too on the 2024.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'm not. We'll be working on getting me up to date on the 2024 rules a little bit more on the Sunlit or the Serpent Sea game, since we're going to be doing that one as 2024 rules. Then I'm really going to be confused about everything because I'm going to be thinking 2024, 2014, who's doing what, what's going on, who knows, burn it all to the ground. So you took Mercy Monk, you said?
Yeah, I'm actually done, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have anything to select other than Mercy Monk. Boom. There's your abilities.
Yeah.
Now I just got to start learning them. However, it does allow extra healing and.
Yeah, you can use a key point or a focus point to heal.
Yeah, and then I got to start learning how to deflect attacks and. Now with the 2024 muck, it comes up because later on you actually get to deflect energy also. That was interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like at 10th level or something like that.
To some extent, it is a projectile.
Yeah, and then it added insight and medicine to my skills, and proficiency with herbalism kit.
Herbalism. Nice.
I'm thinking like my character being the wise old owl that's always giving guidance and words of advice.
Oh,
Oh, so it's just deflect attacks total now instead of deflect missiles. Okay.
Yeah, it's a reaction to reduce the damage by 1d10 plus dex.
Nice.
how do I actually select the pack? I'm trying to find a place.
So because the way Fantasy Grounds is set up, it won't let you select the pact. You just need to figure out which one you want.
Gotcha.
When you save it, we'll just make a note on your character sheet of which pact you picked.
Okay. And then I get to pick a spell just like unrelated to that, or?
Yeah, you get to pick another spell off the Warlock list that you learn. You will be getting your spells upgraded to 2nd level.
Awesome.
So, you may want to pick out a 2nd level spell.
Good thinking. And I only get one more spell, right?
Yes,
Or,
you get, so you get one new spell, and you can choose one spell to basically unlearn and learn a new spell if you wanted to, but
I'm kind of happy with my spells at the moment.
it's usually later on as you get closer to the end that it's like, well, these older spells aren't really cutting it for me anymore.
True. I think I'm going for Shatter this time.
Nice.
I've wanted it too many times.
Yeah, one thing to note is it is a very loud spell, so it is not something to use while you're trying to be stealthy.
That's a good thing to tell me. Thank you.
And don't forget, you do have some spells that get added to your spell list as a hexblade that may not show up on that list in there as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what they are in a second.
Okay, thank you.
So right now you have Shield, Wrathful Smite, Blur, and Branding Smite that you can pick up in addition to the normal Warlock spells.
How do I select those?
Just let me know, and I can drop that on there if you prefer one of those versus one of the ones. If you're picking up Shatter, that's your one spell. It's just
Okay.
You do get those. There's certain spells that, as a Hexblade Warlock, get added to your spell list that you can learn.
Sure. That doesn't count towards my one spell, you mean?
No, you get to learn one spell. There are spells that get added to your spell list that aren't normally part of the Warlock spell list.
Okay, gotcha.
Because you're a Hexblade, you specialize in certain bits of magic that other Warlocks don't.
Awesome.
So we got that, and so for Merlin, what I went ahead and did is I went ahead and upgraded your spells since all of your spells are going to be casting at 2nd level.
Oh.
So you don't need to worry about the upcasting because I've got it set up to automatically upcast for you.
Thank you.
For like Nefaria and others who have spells that are you get multiple levels of spells. If you want to upcast a spell in order to make it more powerful for Fantasy Grounds, what you're going to do is you're going to just click normally on the spell, and then as you go to drag it across to the combat tracker, or not the combat tracker, the chat box to roll it, right click. And you'll do that once for each level of spell you want to upcast it by. And that will add an extra die of damage to, or healing or whatever, to your spell if you're upcasting it.
So Celeste, you a Gloomstalker now?
Yep.
So that means Celeste is going to be really good at scouting stuff, especially in caves, because unless there is light, anything that's relying on dark vision to see her is not going to be able to see her. She is effectively invisible.
Shadow Dragon.
Something like that. So what I'm saying is you may want to let Celeste kind of move a little bit ahead of you guys as you get ready to explore the caves. And that way Celeste can find stuff and deal with it or let you guys know about it before you stumble into something.
That's perfect.
So let's take a 5 to 10 minute bio break, and we'll head for the cave when we get back.
All
Sure.
right, I'm gonna go pop some
Sounds
popcorn.
good.
All right, who all's back and who are we waiting on?
Here, here.
I'm back.
Here.
So you're just waiting on Nafira? Oh,
I'm
there we
here
go.
just on mute. Yeah, I'm here just on mute while I help my mom get into bed. So,
Okay. You need another couple minutes?
yeah, if y'all don't mind, like 2 minutes.
That's
It's all
fine.
good.
Okay.
Alrighty. So,
Thank you.
is there any shopping you want to do before you head out? Again, remember, it's very difficult to find much stuff here in Greenest since they just got pillaged. But
Do you guys have explosives?
no.
Oh, damn it.
But if I don't have an herbalism kit, I do want to get one. If it
Herbalism kit? Alright.
I'm not sure if I had one or not.
I
But
don't.
now that I have proficiency in it, I do want to get one.
Okay. Nope, you do not have one. So, herbalism kits are 5 gold.
Alrighty.
And you do drop back off some of those looted goods that you found from the shrine to Chantia as well in town, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Right. Anything else you guys want to look around for?
Could I get like a dagger or something like small? I have like a mace and a crossbow, and I feel like if maybe just like a little something small to hand hold.
Certainly. They can get you. They've got some around. It'll be 2 gold.
I can do that.
All
I'll
right.
take 2 daggers.
2 daggers? All right. And I'm just adjusting the gold you guys have on the party loot sheet for this stuff.
Oh, perfect.
So.
I have a poisoner's kit, so like any material to make poisons, or are we out?
That would not. That's something that they don't generally keep in stock.
Yeah.
That would be more like if you found something while you were out and was like, oh, hey, I could make a basic poison with some of these plants and that, or we just fought a giant purple worm and I'm going to take some of their venom and stabilize it to make poison and that I can dip my weapon in. Now, one thing to be aware is if you're looking at the poisons that are out there, they're in the Dungeon Master's Guide, so you're not going to see them in Fantasy Grounds for the most part, but you can Google them fairly easily. Be sure to check whether it is a wound poison, an inhaled poison, or an ingested poison. Because certain poisons will only be affected if they're eaten or inhaled or entered into an open wound through a weapon, being coated on a weapon, something like that.
I Steve, you want to take off the 5 gold for the healer's kit?
Yeah, I took that off already.
Yeah, but I actually added a healer's kit too.
Oh, I took off 5 gold from the party loot and dropped one on your character sheet. Oh, healer's kit. Sorry, brain work. There we go. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I put it on my character, but I didn't adjust the gold. So.
Yeah.
Yep, I gotcha. All golds, yeah.
So one of the things like off campus while I'll do is I'll be replacing as I use up herbs and bandages and stuff. I'll constantly be replacing that to keep it up to date, current.
Okay.
No sense role playing that unless you want to.
I tend not to be somebody who likes to sit there and pick at quantities of stuff. It's just kind of one of those. After a while, you may run out of unreplaceable or stuff that you can't easily replace without needing to spend time refining it or purchase it from somebody, but for the most part, I'm not too worried about it. So, you guys are on your way back to the camp. Rest, spent part of the day shopping. So you arrive, you head out kind of early afternoon. Now that you know where you're going, it doesn't take you too long to get there, especially since you don't have a wounded monk slowing you down. However, as you approach, something starts to bother you that something is different as you're approaching the camp this time. Give me a perception check to see if you can figure out what's going on.
All right, I'll fly up also to see if I can get any observations also.
Yep.
Damn it. I don't see anything. Ooh.
Nightshade, as you get a little closer, it becomes a little more obvious for you and Neferia what it was. There seems to be less noise, but one part of the camp has a whole lot more smoke coming from it.
Ooh.
But it seems to be a lot quieter than it was previously as well. As you round the area, many of the huts on the outside skirts of the camp that were in use by the kobolds have been burned to the ground. And as you look around, Nightshade, Neferia, and Suspicious, you notice that a lot of the grasses in this area have been flattened as if a large number of people and heavy objects moved through here recently.
Can we tell which general direction?
Give me a survival check, please.
All of us?
And I'll point it out to
Anybody who wants to.
Well, I'm not surviving. I guess I'm dying first.
Well, survival is used for stuff like tracking, locating food, and stuff like that as well.
I know, but...
Cooking. Remind me not to eat your chicken. All right, so Nightshade, you're able to pick up several wagon tracks that seem to be looping around and heading west for the moment. It also appears that several groups of people on foot headed out of the cave and kind of scattered in different directions.
I did a history check to see what's west, what towns or cities.
Let me grab my map of Faerun.
You can get back with me later, that's fine.
No, I'm just trying to find a map of the Sword Coast real quick. I had one and needed to relocate it. where we're at on the coast. Basically, the biggest thing you can think of to the west is there is the main trade road that heads up towards Baldur's Gate, Elturel, and Waterdeep,
that,
and other places like
yeah,
that.
that's what I was asking for. So I was thinking, okay, maybe they're headed up there. But again, maybe they want to avoid any trade roads too. So, but
Yeah.
we'll see. I'll mention to everybody. I think they headed off west. I know there's the big trade road, but there might be anything else because I think if they probably don't want to alert everybody else that they're coming at this time.
So directly to the west is an area known as the Wood of Sharp Teeth. But there's also the town of Burgos and the fortress of Candlekeep. Elturel is a bit more towards the north, as is Burdusk.
So if I had to guess, the next place they're headed is either they're going to go through the woods someplace or they're going to take the next town.
Yeah, I feel like woods are good cover. But they do have
probably have
wagons.
you'll probably have to zoom in a bit on it, but the area I just sent you a map of the Sword Coast area that you're in. And you guys are down in Greenest, which is way down, kind of center bottom.
Okay.
All right, so the camp is emptied and they probably took all the treasure with them.
It does look like there's a few groups that kind of sporadically are still here, but yeah, most of the folks have left.
So is there even a point in looking in the cave?
Yeah, let's find out what it is. Maybe
I
we
mean,
find some information in the camp or the cave. But
never
that
know
doesn't
if
mean
somebody
we find
left a
everything.
piece of paper behind, or you can tell based on like there was something big sitting here. It was probably one of these things.
True.
We're gonna
Okay.
have Celeste figure out what kind of droppings were left to see what the whelp was.
So you think it's going to take most of the rest of the day if you wanted to try and search the camp thoroughly?
Okay.
Well, you said there's still people hanging out, so
Yeah, but most of them don't seem to be all that worried about you being here. You get the impression that these are probably some of the mercenaries and other folks that were hired to round stuff out. They've gotten paid and they're just kind of figuring out where they're going to go next. They're not the main group of the cultists.
okay. I think we should go check the cave out.
I think that's a great idea. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys head straight for the cave.
Yep, we'll let Celeste lead.
All right. So there is the cave.
Oh, dang.
As you explore it, it will become more obvious. There is lighting in the first part because, of course, sunlight coming in. But as you go further in, the light will slowly disappear.
All right, I'm trying to move quietly along with Celeste.
Yep.
Sort of staying a little bit behind her because she's probably more stealthy than me, but I'm not shabby at it.
Okay.
I'm going to do the same. I'm just adjusting my map.
Yep. So as you guys begin heading in, make sure I did it. All right. So as you guys head in, as you walk in to the first area there, so back yourselves up just a little bit. I was fixing something on Celeste's token. So right about where Celeste is now. Back past that. You see two dudes in black cloaks with rather ornate helmets that you believe should resemble the head of a dragon. As you guys get there, they both attack.
Oh, those are dragon claws. Okay.
Yep.
Cool hats.
Yeah. So the first. No. Let's see. Does a 14 hit Nightshade? No, it does not.
No.
And then for number 2, that will hit Celeste. And does 19 points of damage. Celeste, it is your
Nice.
turn.
And you will get Dread Ambush or even in melee.
Yes.
So I can still use the hunter's mark, right?
Yes.
And then the Dread Ambusher. Now, is that one that remind me, please, that I roll first and
Dread
then...
Ambusher, you get a free attack, and on that extra attack, you get to add a d8 of damage if you hit. So you declare which one is your Dread Ambusher attack, roll to hit. If you hit, then you click the button to add it.
Okay, so
Don't
I
forget,
can use
for Hunter's Mark, you also need to mark which one of your targets you're marking.
Oh, sorry. I was the one right next to me.
All right.
Should I do it again?
So there should be 2 buttons there. One puts an effect on you. The other one, the second one, the first one puts the mark on. There it goes. Yep.
And then roll.
Now roll to hit. All right,
Nice.
so that'll hit. So now you can add your Dread Ambusher damage bonus. Nope, you missed. It's Dreadful Strike is what it. No, hold on. Did they change Dread Ambusher? Hold on, I gotta.
It's not a 2024 rule. I don't think they added Gloomstalker, or did they?
Well, it's different. Because at 3rd level, you master the art of ambush. You can give yourself a bonus to your initiative rolls equal to your wisdom modifier, is what Dread Ambusher does now.
Oh, okay.
And then at the start of your first turn of combat, your walking speed increases by 10. If you take the attack action, you can make 1 additional attack, and you get the extra damage on that. But for whatever reason, it doesn't have the button for the extra damage. So let me add that. Okay, there we go. So roll an extra d8. Two more. All right. So the good news is the dragon claw is bloodied.
Woo.
So that was your dread ambusher strike. So now you've got your normal attack. And that will miss. So is that everything for you?
And if I try to move, he gets an attack of opportunity, right?
Correct.
If you move away from him.
I just assumed Celeste would be moving away because she'd prefer to use her bow versus
Yeah.
in melee. But yeah, if you tried to back away, you would get an attack of opportunity on you.
Oh, what the heck?
You can also just wait to see what your party does.
You gonna risk it?
Oh, yeah, that's... Yeah, I might as well. I'll steadfast. I'm tough.
You're
Hang
gonna
in there.
You're gonna stand there. All right. That's everything. Go ahead and click the next on the combat tracker.
All right. So I will attack Drag Claw number 1. Thought I had him selected.
All right.
Nice.
That'll hit.
All right. I use my bonus action, just a standard martial arts attack.
Okay. That will miss.
And I missed. All right. And then movement, I'll just circle around him to right there.
Okay. Nightshade. Or not Nightshade, Suspicious.
Okay. I'm just gonna use my short bow and
Okay. That will hit.
Nice.
nice.
See, you didn't have to
Woo!
disengage. Same effect.
All right, so you spin around there and hello, Merlin.
All right. So let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and attack the remaining dude.
Okay.
And we're just gonna use our first Eldritch Blast of the day.
Alrighty.
Ooh, did not mean to do 2.
You're fine. The 15 will hit.
Cool. And again, I did 2, so oops. Single click. 8.
Yeah, alright. I will get some of
And
that damage. He's barely holding on though.
cool. I'm just gonna hit next.
Nefuria.
All right. Let's see if I can finish this dude off. I'm going to use my Sacred Flame.
He
Jim.
dodged out of the way.
No.
Blast. Okay.
Alright. He is going to disengage. 30 down that way. Basically, it looks like he's trying to get away and warn the others of your presence.
Oh, we gotta get
Celeste.
him.
I thought I had another focus point.
That is a miss.
Oh shoot! I meant to heal you.
That's okay.
Alright, there's
You
nothing
can-
else I can do.
Okay, go ahead if you're done and advance the turn. Nightshade.
All right, for my action, I will, or actually my bonus action, I will, Celestial, I will use my one focus point. Now, it did not put another focus point when I leveled up. I should have 3
Oh.
now, but I'm using one of them to do my martial arts die, which is what, a d6 plus 3.
There you go. Yeah, so there's a hand of healing that you could just drop on Celeste, and that'll.
Not good, but hey.
Yeah, gets it back above bloodied.
All right, and then I will move to there, and then I'll use my action as a normal martial arts attack.
Okay.
Aw.
Mish.
What happened? Thought you were gonna give him the 1, 2, 3.
Well, he gave the 1, and then he forgot 2 and 3. He got his hands up there and went 1. Eh?
I was too busy healing Celeste. Oh yeah, that
Suspicious missed as well. So Merlin.
All right, it's up to me.
Yeah, I was talking too much back.
Okay, we're just gonna Eldritch Blast.
Just a little blasty.
Just a little blasty. Oh, come on! It hovered on the 18.
Or not.
Rude!
So you see
your show you how it's not done.
Your blast goes a little wide and high and slams into the pillar behind him.
Dang. Okay.
We're just teasing him.
We're just messing with him. So I'm gonna get closer, and I'm gonna try my Sacred Flame again.
Okay. He once again dodges out of the way.
Oh bloody hell! Why is he so nimble?
That's one thing I just personally I hate that spell, so I don't even use it.
It's one of those. If you can find somebody who's very clanky and everything like that, it's a wonderful spell if they're not very high dexterity. But so many things are high dexterity. Go ahead and make a swing, Nightshade, as he's just continuing to try and run away from you. You get a free swing at him. And that will hit. He goes down.
Yay!
I don't think.
Yeah, I have not
hit deflect attacks instead of
yeah, it's fine. He had 1 hit point left. He was desperately trying to get away and warn the leaders that somebody had showed up, but you managed to silence him. As he turns to run, you lash out with a quick punch. You hit him in the back of the head. His head slams straight into the pillar, and he just falls to the ground, glassy-eyed.
I could actually grab him by the back of the neck, one flap of the wings, and just accelerate him right into the pillar.
Wham!
All right, so we scooting further in?
That is up to you guys. You're out of initiative now.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Celeste, lead the way.
I'll stay back about 20 feet from Celeste.
Oops.
Now, do I need to roll stealth to be invisible, or am I natural that way because I'm...
You automatically... So what it is if you are in an area of darkness and a creature relies on dark vision to know where you are invisible to them.
So they saw because there was still light coming in from the
Correct.
entrance.
And you guys just kind of walked straight up there, headed straight for the cave. You didn't sneak up on it or anything like that. You just booked it for the cave. So they saw you coming and set an ambush up.
So real quick, can I like steal that last dude's outfit and cool hat and become a dragon claw?
You can certainly try to.
Cool. I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So Celeste, the way you can tell is, do you see how there's parts of the map right now that are kind of have the yellowish tint to them, and then there's an area right over here that for you, yeah, right there, that is grayish or is in grayscale.
That's dark.
That is dark. Yes.
Okay.
So if you're standing there, people using dark vision can't see you, which includes some of the members of your party. For those of you who are curious, Healing Word does require you to be able to see your target.
Ah.
So when Celeste goes into the darkness, most of you guys go, huh? Well, hope she doesn't need healing. All right, so Suspicious, as you get down there, give me a perception check, please.
You got it.
All right, so you see a small alcove vanishing into the gloom, but otherwise you can't really tell much because it is dark back there. For Celeste, you can see that there is an alcove to your south, as well as a ledge to the east with a set of stairs heading down.
Okay, I'll let the other party members know what I see and see whether they want to check out the alcove or whether they want to go down.
Okay.
Stairs.
Yeah, let's go check the alcove out first and then see if it continues and then go down.
Okay.
Now I stepped out. If
I'll come over here behind the corner and observe.
All right, so Nightshade, as you look down over there, that is about a 10-foot drop into an area that is filled with various fungi, some a few inches tall, others nearly as tall as a human. There is 2 paths through the area, kind of that wind through there. One is more towards the right side of the room, the other to the left.
And how high is the ceiling?
It continues on at about the same height, so let's see. What was that? The ceilings are about 15 foot high in these areas.
Okay.
So that's what's down that way.
All right.
Celeste, you wanted to head down into the alcove?
yeah, I should probably ask for a heal.
Oh, can I see you right now?
Yep, she's
Yeah,
outside of
I
the
stepped
shadow.
out.
Cool. I got you then. Hang on one sec. I'm just gonna pull up my combat tracker again.
You can also take the die for the healing and just drop it directly on their token.
Oh, cool. Let's try that.
Drop a second level healing word on you. Nice.
Woo.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, now I'm almost all the way up. Okay. So I will step back into the darkness.
Vanish into the gloom.
Move on down.
All right. So as you get to the back of this alcove, you realize that there is a small fold in the rock wall at the back here, and you could actually slip behind it. And there is another tunnel that continues on.
Okay, I'll let the party know.
Okay.
Do we want to continue on this way?
Sneaky tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Oh my god, that was all that was going through my head. Thank you. I love that joke.
All right, secret tunnel it is.
Let's go.
Now, can everybody see?
I believe Suspicious is the only one that has a problem at this point.
Yeah.
Suspicious can't really see what's going on past where he's at.
I don't think I can see either.
Nope. Merlin can't see anything either. Merlin's just stumbling along behind Celeste.
Pretty much.
I guess we can tie a rope.
Well,
That's a good idea.
but if we use a light source, just be aware that if you illuminate Celeste, well, then you stop her invisibility. So it's one of those, you got to figure out the party order and how much lighting you use.
Good point.
So this is where I was talking like, you might want to let Celeste go poke her nose in a few rooms and let you know what's ahead if nothing can see her, and then you guys decide what you want to do before you bring a lot of light into an area and alert everybody that you're there.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of stay put and hope you guys come find me then. I have no idea where you are.
So I'll go ahead and check out this first room, or at least entrance.
Okay. So as you kind of peek around the corner into there, it is mostly empty. There are a few overturned boxes, a few broken items, some scattered coins, a few small gems that were dropped in what appears to be a hasty evacuation. There is also a cultist who is surrounded by a pile of bottles, sleeping soundly.
Had a good night.
Yeah, my token's actually stuck. I can't follow her.
Okay, I will go back and let the party know and know that there is actually a cultist still in the room.
The secret door somehow got closed on you, Nightshade. There's there's a cultist in there. The area to your south appears to have been some kind of barracks. It looks like there may be a few guards or cultists sleeping up there, or kind of relaxing. So
do we want to go into the storage area and get the coins and gems and dispatch a cultist if...
Well, we don't want to leave him behind us.
Okay, I'll motion to Merlin that we're going to the right.
Thank you.
Well, Merlin
Can you try
can't
me?
see. Merlin can't see you.
So I can see you because I have dark vision.
So Merlin,
So
did you
that
hold up? Merlin, did you pick your Eldritch invocations?
I believe so. Let me look through my stuff.
I don't see. Oh, Armor of Shadows and Agonizing.
Yes.
Blast. Okay. Let me make sure. Let's fix there. And fix this here. Okay. Those are both good. All right. So you did not pick up Devil's Sight, so you cannot see. That doesn't help you see the dark. All right. That's
Can
what I
someone
was.
come tie a Can
So
someone come
then-
tie a rope on me? Just kind of
But I
lead me
can-
around.
Now I can motion to Nefiria to let her know to follow the wall to the right.
Give me 1 second. I need to check. Now, Nefiria, you can share your dark vision for up to an hour.
I was just gonna say, Eyes of Night.
Yep. So
Up
you
to 3 people, I think.
up to wisdom modifier, so you got at least a +2, so that will let you give that to Merlin and Suspicious for the time being.
Thank you.
Oh, perfect.
Cool. Oh my god, it's a different world.
Slow down, Suspicious. I can't click on you. There you go. You now have dark vision.
Okay, so now we can go back into the room. Stealthily, well, at least me, quietly.
All right, stop. Stop. As you get right there, the guards are going to notice Nightshade.
I thought the one guy was
The guy in area
Unconscious.
13 is unconscious.
well, there's no numbers, so
Yeah. There's one passageway up here. He's unconscious, but as I mentioned to Celeste, there's a bunch of guards down here. So he sees you, and they are going to ready to attack. So roll initiative, everyone.
Hang on. Oh wait. Sorry, my thing froze again. It's always at inopportune moments.
Oh, of course. That's the way it goes.
Always. Okay. There we go. Oh dang. Okay.
Let me just see here. I see some. Yes. Okay. So, Nefiria, you are actually up first. You've fought some of these guys enough to know. You can see like cultists and stuff like that in there. You know they don't have a lot of health. You fought them enough to know that they're pretty weak. So you could shut some of this fight down pretty quickly.
Do AoE.
Well, you've got sleep.
Yeah, that'd be
Ah,
perfect. So let's do some sleep on these folks.
Heck yeah. That was a great sound effect.
Hold on. You've got the new version of Sleep. You gotta read this one now.
They call it magic, but he just took the fairy dust and just threw it.
Pretty much. The fairy just reaches over there, grabs Suspicious, shakes some fairy dust, and throws it.
Sleep, motherfucker.
All right. So, the reason why I needed to check is you're probably good. I actually like the old version of Sleep better.
Oh, yeah.
Because the new version, Sleep is a 5-foot area that they make a save. The old version of Sleep is actually a 20-foot area that you can put up to 5d8 worth of hit points of creatures to sleep within that area. No saving.
Ooh, that is way better.
Yes.
Only 5 feet?
That is what the new Sleep is it's a 5-foot radius. So basically 10-foot diameter circle.
Okay, yes, this is way better.
So what you're going to want to do is click on the D8 down at the bottom and right-click until you've got 5 of them. You can also just right-click and pick up 5 and then roll those. That's how many hit points worth of creatures you're going to affect.
Gotcha. Let's see. I'm trying to think what it is on a Mac, what the click is.
Ooh.
Did we decide it was command? Control?
Or it's command.
Command?
Okay.
Let me double check.
Yeah, that is one I have not gotten a lot of experience on, is how everything works on the Mac.
It's control. Wait.
Okay, so control.
If you have to roll them individually, roll them individually.
Yeah, I think I may have to do that.
And I can set up a button for you.
1, 2.
7, 8, 9, 17, 21. That's it.
That's 5.
4, 5, yes.
21 hit points worth.
Good thing there weren't 100 of them.
Yeah, thank goodness.
So you knock out at least these 2. So you see 2 of them just kind of go. They start getting up and then just kind of collapse back into their chairs.
All right.
Celeste, what are you doing? As you hear sounds of people grabbing weapons from behind you.
Okay, so then I'll head back.
Okay.
10, 15, 25, 30. And then I can see this guy here.
Yep.
Things not moving. There we go. And then I'll do. I get the Dread Ambusher effect.
Yep, and you've got an extra 10 feet of movement this round as well if you need it.
So I roll first.
Roll to hit, yep. That will hit. So now you can.
I hit all 3 buttons.
There should just be. There should be one that is just the extra damage.
And that's the one I hit.
Yep.
There it is. Okay.
clean this up.
And
All right, now it should just be the damage button. All right, so
okay,
that guy goes down.
and I still have
10 feet of movement.
Well, movement, and you got another attack.
another attack. I can see a target, so I'll go ahead and
Yep.
try to get that one.
All right, that'll hit. All right, he's still up, but not looking great.
And then I will go ahead and stay for the moment.
Now, you still have your bonus action if you wanted to move your hunter's mark as well.
And how do I do that?
You would just tell me you're moving your hunter's mark to the new one.
Okay.
Because I believe it still lasts for several minutes at this point. And it hasn't been that long since you killed the other guys. So go ahead and roll an extra d6. See if you take this guy out. Because if you moved your hunter's mark ahead of time, yeah, you would have taken him out. So he's dead.
Wow.
Nice.
Is that everything for you?
Then in that case, I will go ahead and I'll move there.
Okay.
Is that a double space or?
I think Nightshade was somewhere there, so you should be good. Yeah.
Okay. And then that will be
Your turn. All right. Suspicious. Now, I'm not sure if it's showing it. Let me see here. One other thing, yes. So one other ability that you have, Suspicious, is your steady aim. You can choose not to move to just give yourself advantage on an attack roll.
Right.
So this would be kind of one of those really good places to use that.
Yeah, but I already moved, unfortunately. But I'll make sure to remember that.
Oh, you already moved this turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
I moved a little bit back so that I can shoot my bow.
Gotcha. Well, that's a nat 20.
Nice.
And that's a dead cultist.
Ye shall not pass.
Sneak attack. Alrighty. Who's next? One of the guards. He gets to take the snooze action. Nightshade.
The guard in front of me is asleep. Guard 3.
Yep. That guard and one of the cultists is the ones that Nefaria put to sleep. You just had bad luck rolling a couple of ones in that pile there. Otherwise, you probably would have gotten another cultist or two.
Oh, okay. That's. I thought she was aiming at the cultist down below. All right, I'm headed that way.
I figured she had dropped it somewhere right about there, since those were the ones that you could see. So those would have been the two closest creatures. All right, so you run down there and start abusing these poor cultists.
Hold on, let me get the. I'm trying to clear my targets. All right, and martial arts die.
Nice.
Very nice. That'll hit. 1 hit point left.
Let's see if I can finish him off. If I can hit him. Nope.
Not today.
Not today. And then I still had movement left, so I will move to right there so he can't necessarily swing by me.
Okay.
And that'll end my turn.
Alright, so let's check out this dude. What's that called? This 3? Far is he? 35. I can do that. Oops, didn't mean to. There you go. And blast. Woo!
That'll hit.
Die. Okay, that was just excessive. Like, okay.
So you haul back and nail this guy right between the eyeballs with an eldritch blast, and it's just this crackling ball of force energy pins his head to the wall, and just you remember the scene in X-Men where Magneto slowly pushes the coin through the guy's head?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's about what happens with your ball of energies. It just slowly compresses this guy's head till it pops like an overripe melon.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Okay, and I move. Do I move? I guess I'll move a little bit. That's not letting me move. Okay.
Okay, so the cultist standing right next to Nightshade drops his weapon, ducks, and covers his head and just cowers in fear after seeing what had just happened to his buddy. Number
show you
2.
where-
What was
Yeah,
that?
my map, everything disappeared on my map except for my token and the map.
That's weird.
Well, I accidentally closed it. There it goes.
All right. This guy comes running over and starts blindly swinging at Nightshade and misses horribly. This guy will start swinging blindly as well. So this cultist over here drops and starts cowering in fear. That one's asleep. This one will run over here and take a swing blindly at Nightshade. And hits.
Oh wow.
I got an 8. He hit me?
He did hit you, but you didn't take the crit.
Oh, 18. Well, I will use my reaction to deflect attack.
Okay.
5 points reduced.
No, 8 points reduced.
Oh, okay.
So you can spend a key point to shove that back at somebody.
No, I'm not going to. I'll just deflect the attack.
Okay.
I'll save my focus. Might need it for healing.
All right. Back up to the top, Nefaria.
All right, so the guy next to me is Cultist 5, and he is still up, yes.
Yes.
So I'm going to pull out my crossbow and just see if I can hit him.
All right.
I lightly graze him, and on to Celeste.
Alrighty.
Not bad.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't target him?
I didn't target him.
Buddy. Just a second.
I was going after the guy next to me.
Yeah, no, my fantasy grounds is being stupid all of a sudden on me. The top edge of the map has gone off the screen, and now I can't actually get a hold of it. There we go. Okay. Back over here so I can work on it. Let's see what I'm doing. Did one of them just yell for you to surrender? I think the appropriate response there is in your dreams.
Surrender.
Surrender in your dreams.
And like, here's your surrender right in your eye.
All right. So you're targeting the one right next to you. Boop. Dead cultist.
And then I will stand fast.
Okay. Suspicious. You have multiple targets of opportunity.
Now, what to choose? What to choose? Want to help out? Now, what were you saying about steady aim?
So if you do not move, you grant yourself advantage for the turn for your first attack that you make. Which basically means you can use that to get sneak attack even if you don't have an ally adjacent to a ranged target.
Okay.
That will hit. Blast him. Yep, that's another dead cultist.
That's what I'd like to hear.
He takes the snooze action. Nightshade.
Okay. I will try to finish off this one here.
Which one are you attacking?
The same one. He had 1 hit point left, you told me.
Okay. I just wasn't sure since he was cowering in fear if you were going to nuke the other guy or not.
And then my bonus action, I'll hit him. Actually, I'll do 2 attacks on him. So I'm going to use a focus point and flurry of blows.
Okay, go for it.
I just waggle really fancy.
Quack, quack, quack.
You did the wave.
I did that.
Okay, you did it for intimidation.
Yeah.
All right. And then I will move around him to there.
Yep.
And end my turn.
Merlin.
All right. Let's see who I can see. I guess Cultist 2. And
Yep, you can see cultist 2.
Blast. Hopefully. Woo!
All right, that will hit.
Heck yeah. Oh, dang, that hovered on the 10 for a second.
Yep. He is bloodied,
Would've
but
been-
not down.
Oh,
Alright. Cultist 2 will take a swing at Nightshade. And misses. Still cowering in fear. Still asleep. Nefaria.
Okay, so it's just Cultist 2.
That's
Get him.
fighting with you guys right now, yes.
Okay. So I'm going to move up to him. And let's just try and maze him.
You miss. You would need to
So
move
much for that.
over there because you can't hit him with the mace straight through.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's right.
It's a melee attack. Celeste.
Next. There's the target this time.
That will hit. He goes down. All right, so what are you going to do? You've got a guard and a cultist that are asleep, and one that is cowering in fear of what you've done to his friends.
All right. Well, I'm gonna come over here and guard the tunnel.
Okay. Nightshade, you do notice a bit of light creeping up that tunnel as well.
Okay. Coming towards us.
Well, just like not like it's moving towards you, just light propagating up the tunnel.
Okay, gotcha.
There is a light source that is, you can see is down at the end of the tunnel. So, what would you like to do with with your two unconscious folks and your guy that's basically surrendered or is not trying to fight you anymore?
Well, we should still neutralize them and like, tie him up, or at least.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, type 3 of them.
Yeah, we could transport them back to town too for interrogation if we wanted to afterwards, or interrogate them ourselves.
Devious.
Yeah, we
You
still
guys
have
can.
the other one in the other room.
You guys can take like pieces of the bedding and stuff like that, tear it up, and make bindings for them if you don't want to use up your rope or something like that.
Yeah, well, we can use the
Yeah.
bedding, making.
Or the shirt off their back.
Alrighty. So, aside from that, they have a little bit of coinage and some fancy scabbards that have a dragon motif that you think would probably lend you some credence of being members of the cult if you came across them somewhere else. But other than that, these guys don't have a lot of goodies. So I put the 120 gold worth of stuff that they had on the party sheet.
All right, I guess we can grab a couple sheets to put our daggers on.
Yep. And at that point, I think that's a pretty good stopping spot for tonight.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, Celeste, how hurt are you? Still bleeding a little bit?
Not really. They're down maybe. It's less than a third of their hit points.
Okay.
Closer.
We'll wait.
They're down maybe a quarter.
Yeah, it's eight, right? That means
I
have 8 points of wound. Yeah.
Yeah, you've taken 8 points of damage.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and to clear things up, I'll spend my last focus point to drop another die on her.
Okay.
Because at the beginning of my next combat, I'll use my
metabolism to get those back.
metabolism. So.
Okay.
Let me find it. That's just so because I won't remember by next week.
That's fine.
And Hand of Healing. I got to move my character right now to see hers.
Yeah. Alrighty.
A little bit more.
So.
Just 3.
Everybody is good for next week, I believe.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I will see you all then.
See ya. Have a
Thank
great
you
week,
all.
guys.
Yep.
Good
Have a
Bye,
good weekend.
everyone.
Bye.
See you guys.